Welcome to Perfect Harmony Journal. Here are today's top stories. The Ukrainian military said that it hit an ammunition depot overnight at a Russian airfield in Adygea, about 280 miles from the front lines in eastern Ukraine. Beirut became the epicenter of conflict as Israel launched devastating airstrikes, claiming the lives of at least 22 people and injuring 117 others. The remnants of Hurricane KIRK slammed into Western Europe. The powerful storm tore through Portugal and Spain, uprooting trees and causing chaos before unleashing torrential rain across France, leaving one person dead. The European Parliament made a powerful statement on human rights, adopting a resolution focused on the unjust detention of Uyghurs in China, including high-profile figures Ilham Tohti and Gulshan Abbas.
The Ukrainian military said on October 10th that it hit an ammunition depot overnight at a Russian airfield in Adygea, about 280 miles from the front lines in eastern Ukraine. A source from Ukraine's security service SBU stated that 57 Russian aircraft and helicopters, including Su-34s, Su-35s, and Mi-8s, were at Khanskaya Airfield during the attack. The source added, Russia is using this airfield in Krasnodar Krai for refueling and missile and bomb attacks on the units of the defense forces and Ukrainian settlements. The military is still assessing the damage following a fire at the facility, and the exact number of destroyed equipment is being clarified. Additionally, Adygea regional head Murat Kumpilov said the village of Rodnikovi was evacuated due to the fire, and no casualties were reported. Meanwhile, drones from the SBU, intelligence, and the armed forces of Ukraine also hit a warehouse storing Iranian Shahed drones near the city of Yeisk, causing several powerful explosions and a fire. On October 10th, Beirut became the epicenter of conflict as Israel launched devastating airstrikes, claiming the lives of at least 22 people and injuring 117 others. These airstrikes targeted residential buildings that the Israeli military claims are linked to Hezbollah, opening a new and violent chapter in an ongoing crisis. The Israeli Defense Forces assert that these actions are necessary to thwart Hezbollah, amidst a year-long escalation of tensions between the two sides. Amidst this chaos, Hezbollah reports a failed assassination attempt on one of their leaders, further heightening instability in the region. On the same day, Israeli forces also targeted UN peacekeepers, injuring 2 in southern Lebanon. The UN peacekeeping mission in Lebanon confirmed their headquarters has been repeatedly attacked, with an Israeli tank damaging key facilities. The Italian government condemned these strikes as unacceptable and summoned the Israeli ambassador, calling attention to the danger faced by peacekeepers. Jean-Pierre Lacroix, the Undersecretary General for Peace Operations, criticized the strikes, warning they jeopardize the safety of peacekeepers. Since last October, over 2,000 lives have been lost in clashes, with tens of thousands forced to flee their homes. Wednesday, the remnants of Hurricane KIRK slammed into Western Europe. The powerful storm tore through Portugal and Spain, uprooting trees and causing chaos before unleashing torrential rain across France, leaving one person dead. In the southern French port city of Sète, the storm surge flipped 3 boats. One amateur sailor tragically lost his life, while another is fighting for survival in critical condition, according to authorities in the Hérault department. Across southern France, the storm knocked out power to more than 64,000 people. Roads were submerged in several areas, leaving communities cut off. The Pyrenees-Atlantiques was hit especially hard, with 35,000 households plunged into darkness, as reported by power provider Enedis. And the worst may not be over. 29 countries' departments remain on orange alert, bracing for more heavy rain and fierce winds. Meanwhile, the Seine-et-Marne department near Paris is on red alert, as the swollen Grand Morin River threatens to flood. French Energy and Ecological Transition Minister Agnès Pannier-Runacher said that all state services are fully mobilized. She also urged everyone to stay cautious, as these episodes have a tendency to recur. Thursday, the European Parliament made a powerful statement on human rights, adopting a resolution focused on the unjust detention of Uyghurs in China, including high-profile figures Ilham Tohti and Gulshan Abbas. Members of the European Parliament demand the immediate and unconditional release of Ilham Tohti, the 2019 Sakharov Prize laureate, and Gulshan Abbas, alongside all individuals arbitrarily detained in China.
The totalitarian regime is committing crimes against humanity, against Uyghurs, Tibetans and other ethnic groups, and sowing its terror and oppression across mainland China, Hong Kong and Macau. This is why we must continue to call for the release of Ilham Tohti and Gulsham Abbas and all those countless names imprisoned by the regime, and hold the regime accountable for it.
The resolution goes further, calling for the closure of concentration camps and denouncing abusive policies such as heavy surveillance, forced labor and sterilization. These actions, Parliament argues, amount to crimes against humanity and constitute a serious risk of genocide. Parliament commends the EU's forced labor rules and urges companies operating in China to meet human rights due diligence standards. The resolution calls on EU member states to adopt additional sanctions on Chinese officials involved in these abuses. The resolution passed with overwhelming support, 540 votes in favor, 23 against, and 47 abstentions, a clear message to China that Europe will not stand silent on human rights. Tensions continue to simmer in the South China Sea, and at the ASEAN summit on October 9th, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. didn't mince words. Marcos Jr. called for practical progress in resolving the region's disputes. He urged all parties to be sincere, open and respect their differences to ease the escalating tension. The president highlighted the urgency, pressing for faster negotiations on the ASEAN-China Code of Conduct. According to a statement from his office, Marcos Jr. stressed that the situation remains unchanged. Philippine forces continue to face harassment and threats from China. The Chinese Foreign Ministry responded swiftly. Spokesperson Mao Ning stated at a press conference on October 9th that China is committed to promoting dialogue while also warning against acts of infringement and provocation. On August 23rd, Beijing admitted to taking what it called countermeasures against Philippine military aircraft near Subi Reef, further stoking tensions in the region. 4 days earlier, Chinese vessels rammed 2 Philippine ships near Sapin Shoal as they attempted to resupply troops stationed at nearby islands.